Today in a little kitchen we're making Christmas cake. It's rich, fruity and absolutely perfect with incredible texture. For marzipan and icing, video link is in the comments. Let's cook! Stay with us! This recipe is very special for me. Every Christmas, my lovely mother-in-law pours her heart and soul and a lot of booze in this Christmas fruit cake. I hope that by following her recipe, you will get as much joy and pleasure as we do over this holiday. Hi, I'm Emilia Skinner and welcome to Little Kitchen. Pre-soak your fruits. I do have 500 grams of sultanas and cranberries. The evening before, simply pour orange juice into the pan, add a few cinnamon sticks, bring it to boil and let it simmer for at least 5 minutes. After that, just move it to a container. When it cools down, add 150 ml of spiced rum, whiskey, bourbon, any alcohol you have in the house. Then it stayed overnight in the fridge. If you wish to have non-alcohol version, simply add mix of vanilla and almond extract. The result will be incredible. You can find all the quantities in description. Also, we will need 500 grams of other fruits. There are some mangoes, prunes and apricots. I didn't soak them. The reason for that, they're already moist, so they're just good to go as they are. The soft fruits can go aside, but the fruits which we're soaking overnight, we will need to use a sieve to drain them off, and after we will dab them with a kitchen paper. If it happened that you bought very dry prunes and apricots, please soak them overnight as well, and after ensure that you get rid of excess liquid by patting them dry. If needed, please repeat the procedure. Step 2. We need to prepare our dough. Fluff up in a bowl 270 grams of unsalted softened butter. Whisk it really well so it will look like this. And straight away add 200 grams of muscovado sugar. For me it's sweet enough, but if you want richer color, just add 3 teaspoons of cacao powder. Simple as that. We need to add 6 eggs one by one and carry on mixing. Crack 1 egg, combine all together and repeat it 6 times. The 6th egg is in, just make sure you scrape off all the mixture from the sides. It's time for our flour. We will need 275 grams of self-raising flour. We will add it in 2 steps. If you don't have self-raising flour, just add 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate soda to a normal flour and job done. Spices. I do have 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of allspice. And don't forget to add zest of 1 lemon and zest of 1 orange. And lastly, we need to add our dry fruit. Please be careful with pre-soaked one. And if it's necessary, dab it more with a towel in order to remove all excess liquid. Starting slowly to mix in dry fruit. It seems a lot of fruits, but when you add it step by step and in little portions, they're actually mixing in very well. Apologies for handing here. And the last touch, nuts. My mother-in-law, she does use walnuts, but I chose 70 grams of chopped pecans. Voila, we're coming to a final part. That was my banana skin. My mother-in-law, she can make it with the eyes closed. In order to prepare your cake tin, make sure your paper is laid out immaculate. it doesn't have any crease. That was my biggest mistake. I made crease in my baking paper and look, I received a lot of crease in here. When we're leaning our paper, make sure it is as smooth as possible. The outside part just for protection, so don't worry about it. Place the dough as evenly as you can. Heavily stuffed middle can lead to extra density and deep cracks. Like this, nice and even. Another important, I would say essential part is a baking temperature. If you're baking it on too low temperature, you are in risk of undercooking. If you're baking on too high temperature, it can raise very quickly and have those cracks on the top. This is going to the oven on 130 degrees for 2 hours. After 2 hours, I will cover it with a foil and then I will bake it for another 2 hours. I do have fan oven, but if you have just standard, please use 140 degrees. Cover it up with a foil and leave it for another 2 hours. The time is up. Before taking it out, turn your oven off completely and let it cool down for at least 40 minutes. Smells so nice, sweet and nutty and fruity all together. Beautiful. Make sure you wait 24 hours until you cut it and don't forget to brush it with apricot jam. It was a real pleasure to make this recipe with you. Please let me know how your fruitcake turns out, and if you wish to go for part 2, marzipan and glazing, click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!